Yo, what up, y'all? It's your brother Mikey D. Once again, we're back. Welcome to another episode of The Real Mikey D History. That's his story. This episode will be a little different because the brother that I'm going to interview is actually a part of my present and my future. You know what I'm saying? This brother just got down with the team, but I thought it would be different and relevant to interview him for the simple fact that when the show first comes on, the first thing you see are the graphics and the images, and then you see the logo. You know what I mean? So the brother that created all of that art is gonna be with us today. You know what I mean? His name is Steve CAS. This brother is just dope. I mean, the first time I saw his art was, I believe it was when I was rocking with Team Fearless, the Devastating Tito, and the whole squad, I thought that logo that Team Fearless had was crazy. And then I saw a piece of work that he did for my mentor, one of my mentors, Grandmaster CAS. He did a piece for him that's fire, so I reached out to him and we started doing business together maybe about a year and a half now, and everything that he's done for me has just been awesome. And we actually got a chance to kick it and get to know each other outside of art and my art, but we got to know each other on a personal level, you know what I mean? And he's a down-to-earth brother, he's a positive soul. That's the type of people that I like to lock in with and surround myself with, that positive energy. So he did this right here. This is the Pass the Torch joint. And another thing, when we get CAS on here, my man Calcutta, he has a special surprise for him because Calcutta also does graphics. So what Calcutta did was he took a piece of Steve CAS's art and added a little bit of his graphics, and he came up with this. So this is a gift from Calcutta, and pass the torch to Steve CAS. So that's gonna be a surprise for him. So don't forget, lock in, stay tuned, because right about now, we're gonna get in touch with my man Steve CAS. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the great, the sensei, Steve CAS. Yo, what up, Steve? What's the deal, Mr. CAS?
So I'm just honored to be here with you and with the public and your followers, and I'm just honored, man. It's like, thank you. Why me, but like, thank you,
Man, it's an honor for us, man. And why you? I figured like this. Every time this show comes on, the first thing people see is the graphics and the art flashing. So that's the first thing that captures the people's eyes. So since the show's been coming on, people ask me like, yo, who does your graphics? And I'll be like, yo, that's my man Steve CAS, CAS Art. So it was only right that I bring the person on behind the art, because you are a part of my history and now a part of my future, man. It's definitely an honor to have you here, bro.
I gotta tell you, I've worked with some big names in the hip hop industry and the music industry that, like, sometimes they can't make it to an event or a photo shoot, and I recreate them and I make them come to life. They don't need a camera crew. They don't need to fly the artist anywhere. But I gotta tell you, like, working with you has definitely been just uplifting, and it's another level, and I understand that level because I have accepted that I do have a blessing, but I also accepted that if you see someone else with that same blessing, whether it's singing or this or that, let them know. And my brother, I gotta tell you, it is my honor to be next to you and like do these graphics for you, because you definitely are a blessed soul. That's how when you ask for something, you get that and more from me because I can't control it. You know, it's like I love helping people, but especially when you're blessed. So I believe blessings are given to those so you can be a blessing onto others. You know, and so whenever I let anything go, it definitely comes from the heart. It definitely comes from respect. It's definitely from a special place, and you can bring something to life from nothing, and that's the energy behind it. Man, only beautiful things happen.
That's a fact, man. Salute, man. Salute.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions to ask, man. We're gonna have to dig into your history. I mean, I know the show is Mikey D, his story, but the purpose of this show is not only to get to know me, but to get to know the people that inspire me. And obviously, you're one of the people that inspire me. So the first thing that I wondered was, like, the first time that I actually got an eye full of your work was when I was dealing with my brother, the devastating Tito, and he had this the Team Fearless icon, and it had the mics. And was that yours?
Yes.
That's sick, and that's when I knew. You know what I mean?
I actually grew up with Tito in the Fearless Four. We lived from the same neighborhood, like, and just to see, he inspired me and the Fearless Four. You know, it's like, and I've inspired them, and it's like. And that's beautiful because we come from Harlem, you know, 125th Street by the Apollo Theater, and I was born and raised there with them. So when he came to me, it was all his idea. He said, let me give you an idea of what I want. He actually, on a tissue, it was like a little ball with a stick, 4 of them, and I'm like, what was that?
Yo, that's crazy.
So it was 4 mics, you know, and I'm like, okay. So I took that tissue and his energy and his past and what I've witnessed, and I just made it come together. And I didn't want it to just be some regular iconic logo. I wanted it to be even more than that. I wanted it to have a movement. I wanted it to be appealing to the eye, because they deserve that. They've come so far. And for me to do something that represents that, and they loved it and took it even to, it was on TV. It's been all over the place. And
that's a fact.
You know, and it's just, man, it's like, wow.
And you know what else is ill? Besides those pioneers, you also did something for the person that basically inspired me to even pick up a pen and a microphone. You did something for the Grandmaster CAS, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up watching them, and I never thought that it would become the relationship it's now, you know, because he never asked for anything. Like, I gave it from my heart, you know, and something like that comes from a pure place, a real place. And when you let that energy go for it to blossom, and you get more than what you even imagined. Like, I saw a post where he was like, wait, I didn't do justice with telling you about this guy, you know, and I read his book, and I loved what he was saying about how he built hip hop from the ground up, and he watched it grow. So this was the actual drawing that I made.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, so it's got like the hip hop plants on the growing, and
that's
just
fire.
with a shovel, like, you know. And I just recently, this is the first time this piece right here is being even seen on your show in color. It was just, you know, it's just an honor. And
that's fire, man. Salute. Definitely salute to Grandmaster CAS as well. Now, being that you worked with all of these pioneers, I have a question. In the early days, let's say the 80s or the 70s, did you ever do graffiti?
Yes, absolutely. When you said that word, I heard my mom saying, "You're gonna get electrocuted from those damn trains if you keep doing what you're doing." She was, you know, I come from a family that's artistic. My mom was an artist. My grandmother was an artist, and I always tell people I've been drawing before I was born. You know, and
right.
And I thought I would ask the other kids, "What do you mean you don't draw?" He's like, "I don't know how to draw." I'm like, for me, I grew up so passionate, and it was such all around me that I thought it was a way of life, you know. But then as I became a teenager in Harlem, you know, at that time, you know, there was things. It was a way to express yourself. It was like they didn't have the programs that they have now, or the outreach centers and stuff like that at that time. And so I saw graffiti, and it inspired me, and I was just like, wow. And I did, but I was younger at that time. The other graffiti artists didn't want me around because I was small. So I'm relentless. I would go by myself and just tag on trains and experience that. Yeah, so it does come from graffiti, but I took it an extra step where I wasn't trying to be like anyone. Like I've never tried to be like anyone. I learned at an early age that, and this is advice I would tell other artists: don't copy other artists.
Right.
Don't copy the drawing. Learn. If it inspires you, I've been inspired by many artists, but I also didn't try to redraw that. I said, how did he draw that? Like, what is it that made me, what inspired me about it? And a lot of times it's the way the anatomy, it fell in the right place, the movement, the message that it captured. So as I was growing up, I experienced, life, but I didn't have an outlet. The trains and graffiti was a way to an outlet. But then I got to a point where I said, it's not about what you draw, it's what you say with what you say. And I would say that even if you're rapping, like, it's not, okay, you can make words sound the same, but what are you saying,
Right.
What the hell are you saying,
Right. That's
why
a fact.
if you got this talent, why are you going to talk about, like, the guns and the whatever, the drugs or this or that? Why don't you take those words and put them together and bless someone else, enhance someone else, and because it's powerful when you have this skill to put it, whether it's on a CD, on a tape, on a paper, on a wall, and you leave that message. For me, it's important that it truly is a blessing. Bless someone else. Maybe they're having a weird day, and then you put the word believe on a wall.
Yeah.
And whatever he's going through, you just gave him hope. You just enhanced another soul. So art has made me a better human. So I honor my blessings. So it's important for me to uplift, like you. Your purpose, you inspire me. You do. And that's what I love about you. You're just real. Like, there's no image, like ghetto, there's no this. Whatever you've been through, we all been through something, but when you can get to a point where you still have that wonderful place where your talent comes from, and it's not tainted by other energies. That's beautiful, man. I love it.
Try to keep it organic, man. So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What was your scariest artistic experience, man? What was it?
Wow. There was this guy, a client, he wanted a logo, and he was a drummer. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to put him out there. But this was a hurting moment for me because I made a mistake. He said, I want a logo. I'm very inspirational. You've inspired me and this and that. I'm younger back then. And I had a lot of stuff going on. So I actually did the logo. Let's say it's drummer dude. Let's just say that. And I forgot to put the R in the word drummer.
So you called him dumber?
To this day, I'm like, how the hell did I do that? And that's my scariest moment. That if whether you like my art or you don't, I still made you feel, even if you don't. And and I accept that. I'm not trying to please the world, but I do want to enhance something, and that was a moment where I was like, damn. And it's just, I can't tell you. And to this day, I just try to be better than me. Like, it's very important that I do the best I can. Whatever client, I will do the best I can. I don't care if you're a megastar or you just starting out. You're going to get the absolute best, because I won't accept anymore. So to answer the question about what's my dream project, I wanted to get to a point where I can have my life and live my life as an artist and allow my art to support, and I live off of it. That
doing what you love.
Yeah. And so maybe if there was that project, it became a longer project where I want to live off of this, and I don't need much. I don't, and I'm just grateful. And when you're grateful, that's all you need to have a wonderful life, to be honest, man.
That's great.
You have gratitude.
Facts. I remember you told me something that always stuck, man. When you told me about not going to school for art, you told me that you taught yourself how to draw, and the ill way you put it, you said you realized that your right hand was doing all of the stuff and the left hand was just sitting there. So you was like, I'm not going to allow my left hand to just sit there and do nothing. So you had to teach your left hand how to work as well as the right hand.
Yeah.
That was the illest quote ever. Had to teach my left hand how to work. You're not just going to sit here and do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, I'm busy and you're just hanging around. Get your ass to work too, you know? But it was a challenge. It was because when I think about drawing with my other hand, I can't do it. And I realized, don't think with that hand. I'm a left-hander, so I do my details with the left hand, and I allow the right hand to create the shapes and create the composition and help the left hand. You know, I don't actually like do all the details. And now I've gotten to a point where I actually do a lot of detail with it, but I can't think while I do it. I have to just just do it, you know. But yeah, and it's comfortable at first because I once read a book, drawing from the right side of your brain. I think it was on the left side. But if you're left-handed, you use the other side of your brain, the right-handed side. Mm-hmm. So that's why right-handed artists, like you go to 42nd and there's artists drawing people exactly. The right-handed artist has more of a visual, and they can move their hand to the visual and create a really awesome portrait, you know. But a lot of the left-handed sides are more creative and they are more wilder, more abstract, and they're more inventive and they take more risk and you know. So I have seen the difference with both hands, but I take the benefits from the other hand to add on, and it speeds me up because I can't even keep up with the demand, and I'm so grateful for that, you know.
Yeah. Let me ask you, are there any other artists out there that you would compare yourself to?
There are many that I was inspired and I looked to try to learn, but I've never tried to be like any of them, but I have been inspired by them, you know. For me, for many years, I didn't even look at other art. I just kept doing. I have a line of CAS tunes, okay, and I kind of been selfish with them. I have not shared them with the world. I have about 500 CAS tunes that the world has not even seen yet, and I'm getting a license. Yeah, and I didn't realize I was gonna get to that number. All of a sudden, I looked in the closet, and I got a stack of freaking like a huge stack, and for me, that was my. Like people have photo albums to remember things. For me, each CAS tune, I didn't know what I was going to draw. It comes from the feeling of that moment, you know. And a lot of times it's helped me. It's been my therapy because I'll look back at it and I'll be like, oh, I remember I was real pissed that day, you know. And I remember I felt love, or I felt, you know, whatever it felt, I translated it to. Or maybe I was angry and I drew something more positive, you know, like I was going through some moments where I felt, you know, some trials and tribulations were going on, and I said, I need God. So I drew this character. He's like, God's my home, you know? So, it's the message, you know, it's the message. So I have not shared those, and I've been a little selfish with them, but I will. And, you know, I've shared the ones that I didn't feel were to the caliber of those. So I'm excited. I just know that that moment will come, and that moment when it does, it'll be like a dream come true. And I'm just gonna invite people to, hey, here's my CAS tune, dream with me. Yeah.
Facts. I got two more important questions.
Sorry, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The first one. Now, being that you're from Harlem, man, that's like the heart of New York. You know what I mean? What is your most inspirational place in New York City?
Well, I believe like inspiration is everywhere. You just gotta know how to see it, you know? You know, it's everywhere. You just gotta know how to see it, you know? But being from Harlem, that was like, it's pure. It feels, you know, and I experienced some moments that uplifted me while in Harlem. Like I saw those people that had nothing but were grateful. I had nothing. I didn't even know my family was poor. So somebody said, "Dude, you're in the projects. You know, only 4 people live here, whatever." You know, and I'm like, oh, because I saw my mother, you know, being creative and being proud of what she created, you know, and I did the same, you know, even though I went to school with, maybe I didn't have the flyest sneakers, my characters had them, you know. I didn't have the flyest clothes, but my characters had them, you know. And as a matter of fact, they were even flyer than the ones that existed, because I even gave them a twist and I designed a little more on top of it. So I have, you know, Harlem made me appreciate everything, because I was okay with nothing. And when I got something, I was like, yeah. And it starts with the talent. And it also starts with being honest with yourself, man. If you be honest with yourself, you clear your mind. And you can express so much more. Now, when you're lying to people, you're lying to this one, you got to defend that lie, defend this lie. Your mind gets cluttered with garbage. Like, you know, and I don't want to do that. I didn't want that. And I'm so happy that I didn't. Yeah, so I was just inspired, but growing up in Harlem is beautiful. I love it.
Cool. And let me ask you a question. Have you done any other jobs other than being an artist?
You know, I tried, and I'll tell you about that job, but I love the art, and I didn't want to do anything else. And the truth is, I can't do anything else. I'll probably get fired from doing that. You know, because I know me. I'm a man of I'm a man of just putting my heart and I don't knock. It's admirable for people that have a job, whether it's in McDonald's, whatever. It's you're not out there stealing and doing other, you know. So it's admirable to have that, you know. But I know me. I wasn't gonna have it too long. I was gonna get fired because I didn't like whatever that job was gonna be.
Right.
I did take one job because my friend was a super at a huge a building. It was on Times Square. It was 44 floors, and he's like, "You're gonna help me with maintenance." I was like, "Oh shit, I never fixed anything," you know. Yeah. So I became a maintenance guy with him, and I remember the day he gave me the uniform. I had every tool on my belt. I walked out like I'm a, you know, but he admitted, he says, "Look, I love you, man, but you really suck at this stuff, man." And like, and then I was getting paid like, I don't know, it was like $400 a week or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute, I make more in one drawing than. But you know, it was an experience, and he was like, "You got to do the garbage today," and I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." And I was like shoveling garbage, and the trash chute broke down, and I'm shoveling garbage, and I'm smelling like all sorts of things. But you know, I was still humble enough to say, "Hey, you know, this is an experience," and it made me go back to the art and appreciate it more, and I'll do a better job. You know?
Right. That's what it is. So. We almost out of time. Do you have any final words, brother?
Well, my words are to like anyone that's seen my art and loved it and inspired. That's the biggest honor. And even if you didn't like it, you know, it's okay too. You know, I'm just happy that, you know, I gave in, I gave out, but I never ever gave up. You know, and no matter what happened, I couldn't go to this, I couldn't take that class, I couldn't learn this. I went from the knowledge of the streets to the top of the corporate ladder. I'm proud of that. And I did a great job. And now I'm back. I'm doing my own thing with the knowledge of both. So I'm excited to show my CAS license line and all sorts of art. And I guarantee you, every single piece that you see that I've done, I truly did the best that I could do. And that's all you can do, you know?
That's a fact. And ladies and gentlemen, this great piece of art right here is done by Steve CAS. This logo right here, this shirt that I'm rocking right here is done by Steve CAS. And oh, by the way, Steve CAS, hold on for 1 second. My man Cal Cutter got a surprise for you. Hold on.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, that is awesome. That is awesome. So that's mine?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. You know what I mean? He did it just for you, man.
You see the way I feel right now? To put that up and not know that it would get to that level, not know that all the great things that have happened and all the things I've seen for you and for the people around you, You know, that's like, all I did when I created that, I just took your energy and what you've given me. Like, you're one of the most realist people souls I've worked with, and it's truly been a pleasure. And that's the love that went into everything that I've done for you. And I've seen it blossom, I've seen it grow, and congratulations, man. God bless you. And may you continue to rise, and like I had this, together we rise, you know. And
man, we got, together we rise, man. One hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. CAS, give the people your information so they can reach out.
I'm just honored. So got my Instagram at Steve. That's Steve, CASART. And comment, give me messages. I definitely will see them, and thank you. It's I'm living a dream come true, and every day I'm going to do my best, every single day.
That's what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the wise words of the great Steve CAS.
Thank you again,
brother.
Thank you, brother.
Yo,
thank you.
I will talk to you soon. You know, we got work to do, baby.
Absolutely, and it's good work. I'm like, I don't want to do nothing for no one else. It's Mikey D.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. So
keep lifting
I'll at you. One love. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve CAS, CAS Art, CAS Tunes. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Mikey D, the real Mikey D history, and that's his story. And we out of here. Boom.
Peace.
Hip to the core, Steve CAS with a brush is like my pen be the sword. Met a dude, his legs was crazy, flipping it forward. Watched the crew from the Bronx, straight killing the floors. Saw a windmill once, and my whole life changed. It went from graphing black books, then we hitting the trains insane, man. From the back blocks, from running tag through the alleys till we ball on the black top. And we ain't never had a mascot, but this is hip hop. So I'ma shout the DJs that made the hits drop. You ain't never hear a scratch like that, bring a record right back. Yeah, they call that real rap. And real rap, they know knowledge is power. So give it up for Steve CAS while you can smell your flowers. Word, this ain't the burbs, but they feel us outside. Yeah, it's New York pride, but we made it worldwide. From no caps, made a game called Scalesies. Hit a killer, be a killer, no, we gave them hell, B. From ducking shells in the ghetto, but couldn't phase me. Wouldn't trade it for nothing, the street life made me. How we dress from kicks to the tip top. You can spot us anywhere, homie, this is hip hop.
Yeah. My man Steve CAS, like I told y'all, he's a positive spirit, you know what I'm saying? And y'all heard it here first. An exclusive interview with the great Steve CAS, the legend. Come on, we got to see Grandmaster CAS, a piece of art first, you know what I mean? Who gets that, you heard? Dope. I hope he enjoys the gift from Calcutta. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. So if y'all ever need some logos or some artwork done, make sure y'all get at Steve CAS. You know, his information is right here. You know? And thank you for joining us on another episode of The Real Mikey D History. That's his story. This journey has just begun. Stay tuned. We got a lot more people to interview, a lot more for y'all to get to know about your boy Mikey D. And thanks for following us. We love every one of y'all. And for now, peace and blessings. And we out of here.